Welcome, dear Aquarius. You're connecting right now with the Seven of Cups, and the color bringing you balance in this moment is sky blue. There's someone with the energy of Libra or Capricorn who's been thinking about you a lot. Your affirmation today is, I am clear-minded, independent, and fully capable of choosing the path that aligns with me. The Seven of Cups shows up in your reading to remind you that you're standing at a crossroads. Ideas, dreams, emotions, and opportunities may be blending together like a maze. This card isn't just about choosing, it's about seeing through illusions and recognizing what truly aligns with your spirit. The universe doesn't want you to choose randomly. It wants you to choose right. This energy is urging you to trust your own inner judgment instead of seeking validation from others. You don't need anyone's approval to know your worth. Clinging to expectations outside yourself only dulls your intuition and blocks the unique essence that makes you who you are. You were never meant to blend in, Aquarius. You were born to lead in your own direction. This is the moment to start asking yourself, is this desire truly mine, or is it pressure to please someone else? When you stop waiting for permission, your courage, creativity, and clarity begin to flow back to you. And that opens the door to a deeply personal turning point, a moment where you're choosing with awareness, not fear. I sense a quiet but powerful success moving toward you. It could be a project you once doubted you could finish, a release from something that's held you back, or acknowledgement from the right person at the right time. This card doesn't just warn you about scattering your energy. It encourages you to rise above old expectations and step into your real potential. Still, the Seven of Cups advises you to protect your focus. Not everything that shines is meant for you. Not every invitation adds value to your path. You don't have to react to everything that comes your way. Sometimes, silence and stillness are the strongest responses. In love, you may feel unsure whether to keep going, pause, or let go. This card reminds you, no connection is worth the cost of your inner peace. Misunderstandings can actually become opportunities if both hearts stay honest and open, and if you're single. Don't compare your timing to anyone else's. Your energy will attract exactly who is meant for you, not too soon, not too late. Now, the color supporting you next is pale silver blue. Someone with the energy of Pisces or Sagittarius is thinking of you, quietly, with unspoken emotion. Your powerful affirmation in this phase is, I build my future with wisdom, patience, and trust in myself. The Ten of Pentacles appears not to speak of burden, but to help you recognize the difference between responsibilities that nourish you and responsibilities that quietly drain your life force. You were not born to carry everything just because you can. Maturity isn't about doing it all. It's about knowing what to hold and what to finally set down. The universe is reminding you of something powerful. Stability doesn't come from doing everything on your own. It comes from building a solid foundation out of what truly matters to your soul. You don't have to carry other people's emotions, expectations, or responsibilities just to prove your worth. Kindness does not mean emptying yourself to exhaustion. This is a phase where you're being encouraged to shift, from enduring to choosing. You are under no obligation to continue what your spirit has already outgrown, whether it's a role, a duty, or an emotional attachment. When you allow yourself to step away from what no longer feeds your soul, you're not losing anyone, you're reclaiming yourself. This card also speaks about setting boundaries, gently but firmly. Those who truly value you will adjust the way they treat you. Those who don't will naturally fall away from your path without conflict, without drama. Looking ahead, the energy of this card points to an achievement, one that brings both freedom and stability. Not because you pushed yourself beyond your limits, but because you finally chose the right place to invest your energy. You are stepping out of an old cycle and entering a new one, where your worth is no longer measured by how much you do, but by the quality of life you're creating. Now you're connecting with the Nine of Wands, and the color bringing you balance at this moment is smoky blue. There's someone with the energy of Capricorn or Libra who's thinking of you now. Your affirmation in this phase is, I am strong but not alone. I do not need to hold up the sky by myself. This card comes in to help you see that willpower doesn't always mean pushing through everything on your own. Constantly taking on too many responsibilities, fixing everything by yourself, or trying to please everyone, it's draining your energy more than you realize. You were not meant to be the shelter for every storm around you. You are a soul learning to choose what is actually worth holding on to. A wave of release is coming, not in the form of giving up, but in claiming your right to rest, to receive, and to breathe again. When you stop trying to control every outcome, unexpected support begins to appear. I sense someone with grounded, practical energy, very likely a Taurus or Virgo, stepping in as the bridge that lightens your load. And hear this clearly, your efforts have not been forgotten. What you've worked for is finally taking shape, not only through material rewards, but through peace, recognition, and a turning point that makes you say, so this is the moment I don't have to keep fighting so hard. Still, don't let yourself burn out to the point of paying with your body or your emotions. When you carry what isn't yours, you're bargaining with your own future. A lack of boundaries isn't love, it's self-abandonment. Practice saying no without guilt. Let yourself do less so you can live truer. In love, if you're in a relationship, don't let outside pressure seep into the space between you. You don't have to suffer in silence. Speak up so the person you're with can walk with you, not just watch you. If you're the one carrying all the emotional or practical weight, it's time for an honest conversation to restore balance. If you're single right now, old fears, past wounds, or that familiar feeling of I don't want to bother anyone anymore, maybe quietly locking your heart without you realizing it. There's someone with the energy of Sagittarius or another Aquarius watching you from a distance, but they can only step in if you open even the smallest doorway. Your next lucky color is pearl white, and there's someone carrying the energy of Pisces thinking about you at this very moment. Your affirmation is, I release myself from the past and step into the present with a clearer spirit. This message carries a deep lesson. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every victory brings peace. Sometimes the wisest choice isn't to push back, but to step away from a fight that no longer has meaning. You don't have to prove you're right. You don't have to keep a conflict alive just to feel worthy. The universe is asking you to stop trying to control the ending of every story. Some things don't need to be labeled right or wrong. You only need to choose to move forward. When you hold on to resentment, you're not hurting the past. You're just locking yourself inside someone else's story. Forgiveness here isn't about excusing what happened. It's about taking back your spiritual freedom. The wisdom of the Five of Cups lies in this. You don't need to win against anyone. You just need to choose peace over holding onto the pain. If there are still lingering emotions tied to a person, a memory, or an ending that never had clarity, then it's time to make room in your heart again. Life is waiting for you ahead, not back where you already walked. Your lucky number is 36, and the color pale sky blue is being sent to you now like spiritual therapy. The energies of Pisces and another Aquarius are circling your field in thought and presence. Your affirmation to hold close is, I allow myself to rest, lay down my worries, and trust that renewal is nearing. The Four of Swords appears to remind you, no one can think clearly while their mind is in survival mode. You are not weak for pausing, you are simply recharging your life force. This is the moment to turn inward a little, heal your thoughts, end the cycle of constant effort. Reorganize your energy before the next chapter begins. Don't wait until exhaustion forces you to stop. When you allow yourself intentional rest, you begin to see paths that were invisible when you were tired. Right now, the universe isn't telling you to act, it's gently calling you back to yourself. This isn't a command to hustle. It's an invitation to slow down, to release the pressure of being strong all the time, and give your mind space to breathe. You don't need to prove your worth through exhaustion. And you don't have to keep running to believe that you are deserving. Rest isn't procrastination. Rest is a form of wisdom. When you release the need to keep doing everything, you make space for clarity, recovery, and the return of your inner power. The thoughts that keep looping in your mind, they're not bringing new answers. They're only draining your emotions, blocking your intuition, and delaying your clarity. This card is opening a sacred pause, a quiet cycle before a much stronger rebirth begins. I can feel it clearly. The questions you've carried for so long will start revealing their answers, not through effort, but through stillness. Emotional calm will help you make decisions, from balance, not pressure. And along the way, you may receive unexpected support from someone with the energy of Scorpio or Cancer. Someone who sees your potential and wants to walk with you, not take from you. But this card isn't only about healing, it comes with a warning. If you keep ignoring your need for rest, your mind and your body will speak up. Burnout doesn't arrive in one night, it builds quietly over time. You're also being asked not to fall into pretend strength through isolation. Silence can restore you, but disappearing completely can disconnect you from the warmth and support you still need. Find the balance between reflection and participation. You don't have to vanish from the world to return to yourself. Sometimes it's simply about saying no to noise without stepping out of life. In love, if you're in an uncertain connection, this card encourages you to pause and observe, not react from exhaustion. There's no need to force a conclusion. When you're less tense, your feelings become more honest. If you've been the one keeping the connection alive, this is the moment to turn inward and remeasure the worth of your own heart. If you're single, this is a reminder that healing isn't about closing your heart. It's about opening it again, at a higher frequency. When you're at peace, you won't have to chase the right person, you'll attract them. Your lucky number is 12, and the color surrounding you now is ruby red, the color of beginnings, inspiration, and momentum. Someone with the energy of Taurus or Aries is being drawn toward you. Your affirmation in this phase is, I am ready to step into a new journey with ease, courage, and inspiration. The Page of Wands doesn't show up to push you into reckless action, it's here to reawaken a fire you once tucked away because of fear, duty, or constant postponement. This energy is the rebirth of your curiosity, your silent courage, your hunger to experience life again, parts of you that never died, they just fell asleep. Now is the time to think bigger, dream differently, act more truthfully. You don't need to understand everything ahead, you only need to be willing to take the first honest step. Overthinking delayed beginnings, waiting for the perfect timing. Those are the things slowing you down, not the path itself. Let your intuition lead, because sometimes the experience itself is the answer. This card also signals that an opening is getting close, maybe a new project, a relocation, a collaboration, a creative launch, or a turning point. That changes how you see yourself. You don't need full certainty to begin, you just need the courage, not to stay still. The energy of the Page of Wands in your journey doesn't just spark curiosity. It reignites your desire to express yourself, to break through limitations, and to live in alignment with your creative nature. This is a phase where you'll begin attracting kindred spirits, people who inspire you, uplift you, and challenge you to see life through a broader lens. I can sense a strong fire energy entering your path, someone with the spirit of Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, who may act as a catalyst, pushing you beyond what once felt comfortable. But don't forget, passion without direction can quickly turn into impulsiveness. This card is a reminder to keep the fire, but not let it burn through your patience or clarity. Avoid diving into something big just because it feels exciting in the moment, only to abandon it when the initial spark fades. Pace yourself, keep your heart lit, but let your mind steer. That balance is what transforms potential into accomplishment. In love, this energy is bold, youthful, and full of life. If you're currently in a connection, this is the time to refresh the way you communicate. Reignite inspiration between you. Express your desires instead of waiting to be understood. If you're single, don't keep orbiting the same familiar dynamics. And don't limit yourself to past patterns or past types. New energy can only enter when you're willing to step outside your comfort zone, even if it starts with a conversation, a meeting, or simply opening your heart a little. Love doesn't arrive through passivity. It comes when your heart is still curious enough to feel. Your lucky number is 11, and the color aligning with you now is deep sapphire blue. Your affirmation during this time is, everything is unfolding in divine order. What belongs to me will always know how to reach me. There is someone with the energy of Capricorn or Libra, thinking of you deeply in this moment, not just in romance, but through a karmic tie or an important decision that's coming into form. The Justice card appears to remind you that every action, intention, and choice carries a ripple, whether you see it in the moment or not. This is a call to act with clarity. Decide with intellect, not emotion. Release the need for outside approval. Stop carrying responsibility that isn't yours. You were not born to bear the consequences of someone else's mistakes. And you do not need to carry guilt for simply choosing healthy boundaries. The beautiful thing is, if you've been living with honesty, you're about to receive exactly what you deserve. And if someone has treated you unfairly, The scales are already beginning to tip back in your favor, naturally, without you having to fight for it. Thank you for being here on this journey. Your energy is never invisible to the universe. If these messages have touched you even just a little, leave a small sign, a gentle mark, to connect yourself to the higher guidance waiting for you. You can even write Amen in the comments, as a way of saying you're ready to receive blessings, clarity, and fairness flowing into your life. I'm sending you a hug filled with light, protection, and awakening. Until we meet again in the next reading, where what is waiting will begin to unfold even more.